Oh, hello everyone. Quack? Come on out here, Quack. Oh, sorry, Byron. Just couldn't keep up. Oh, hi everybody. What are we doing today? Today, we are doing our third literature unit. Ooh, very exciting. Unit 3 is about space. Wow, I like space. It's so spacey. Yes, Quack, but space is a lot more than just spacey. It is a large, black, and vast environment that has no gravity. So you're basically just floating around in space. Can birds fly in space? No. Space is a vacuum, meaning it has no air and no oxygen either. Oxygen basically is air, so without air, there's no oxygen either. But besides that, yeah, birds do need to breathe. They also need gravity to eat in space. So, there's no gravity in space. If there's no gravity in space, even if birds found food, they couldn't even eat the food because, like I just said, there's no gravity in space. So birds would not be able to swallow their food. Gravity pushes the food down the bird's neck, which helps them to digest the food. There actually have been animals that went to space, like mice and even fruit flies. Yeah, I have seen those. Really? Yes. And, yeah, animals have been to space before. And, as you probably guessed, yes, even us, we are animals. Yes, humans are animals. So, Unit 3, let's look at our essential question. Is space exploration a daring adventure or a dangerous risk? I don't know. That's right, you're not supposed to know until our next video when we answer the question. This is only the main question of the whole entire unit. The way we answer the question is to try to read the quote and to read stories familiar to the subject to figure out what the question's trying to lead us to. Let's read our quote for today. All adventures, especially into new territory, are scary. By Sally Ride. That's a good quote. Analyze the image. What feelings about exploring the unknown does this image evoke? Quack, can you try? Yes. Well, the astronaut looks like he's all alone. He might be scared. Yes, that's right. Some astronauts do get pretty scared alone in space. But, you won't actually be alone in space. There is a spaceship with lots of people in it that takes you up into space. And plus, the staff and crew members are always outside the ship, just fixing it or just checking something with the ship. So you're not actually alone in space. Plus, if you don't know how to drive a space rocket, then how will you get to space by yourself? That's right. And he probably feels homesick, kind of? Okay, yep, homesick. You could leave your home for a long time and explore the wonders of space, and then you start to miss your home. Yes, that's right. Earth is a wonderful planet. Humans just love it. Earth is the only planet known to have life. Or is there? Is there any extraterrestrial life? No evidence has been proved, but space is very vast and big, so there could be some aliens around here somewhere. Ooh. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. Oh, I really want to see if aliens are real. That's okay, Quack. How about this? After we're done with this, I'll take you on a trip. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I like space. Yes, just like you said, it's so spacey. Anyways, spark your learning. Here's a chance to spark your learning about ideas in Unit 3, the terror and wonder of space. Make the connection. What was the last thing you watched, listened to, or read about outer space? Write your answer. So, Quack, what was the last thing you watched, listened to, or read about outer space? You could choose one. Watch, listen to, or read. I didn't watch anything about outer space. Well, I listened to a couple, but I didn't know. But I did read something in outer space that I knew. Okay, what was it? Oh, It was a wonderful book about space. Okay, a space book. Let's write down the answer with our marker for today. So, a space book. So, yep, just books, guys. A book is very helpful in literature. Especially this book. This is our literature book, the one we're writing in right now. So yeah, a space book can help you learn more about space because obviously, like the name suggests, it's about space. Why else would it be called a space book? All right. Is going to space a daring adventure or a dangerous risk? Explain your opinion. Okay. So, what do you think the answer to the question might be? It's not the complete answer, but what it just might be. So, the possible answer of the question. So, can you write one? Yes. Okay. So, we are not going to do explaining today. Instead, we're just going to write our opinion. Okay. I think it's a risk. Okay. Dangerous. Risk. So instead, we could just discuss our opinion. So, Quack, why do you think space exploration is a dangerous risk? Because space has no air, and if your spacesuit accidentally gets taken off by itself, then you might die. You're right, but NASA makes the spacesuits very tight, so I don't think it's the spacesuits. But, well done, Quack. Why do you think it's a dangerous risk? Why else besides that? It's very cold in space, so if you take your space helmet off, your head would probably freeze and then go very big and explode. Yes, you're right. Yeah, like that. I don't know if it'll explode though, but great job, Quack. Yes, it's a dangerous risk because it's cold. You're right, it has no air and it has no gravity. And you don't actually fall when you float in space. It has no gravity. When something has no gravity, there is no force that makes you fall down to the ground. So, in other words, gravity is the invisible force that makes our world. See, like this. When I jump into the air, I always fall back down because of gravity. Watch this. See, you don't see the force, but you can see what it's doing. Watch again. See? In space, there is no gravity. So in space, I would look like this. Woo! There is no force that's making me go down. There is no ground in space either. So if I was in space, this would not be existing right now. No way. Woo! But here on planet Earth, the ground, everything exists except the vacuum thing about space. A vacuum is a thing that has no air or gravity. Alright, then we do Sound Like an Expert. You can use these academic vocabulary words to write and talk about the topics and themes in the unit. Which of these words do you already feel comfortable using when speaking or writing? Okay, the words are as follows. Complex, potential, rely, stress, and valid. So, Quack, do you think you know the answer to complex? That's a very difficult word. And I think of complex. Wait a minute! Doesn't complex mean very difficult? That's right! Complex means very, very difficult. But it does not always mean very difficult. It could mean that, but it's not always that. Complex can also mean like very special or amazing. Like a complex design of a model of cheese, for example. Yep, complex can also be very amazing or astounding, but it mainly means like complicated, but does not directly mainly mean that. But well done, Quack. You understood it. Potential. Do we know potential? Do we at least understand potential? Yeah. Is potential like possible? Correct. Potential means possible. It's just possible. It's just a synonym. And in case you are asking, a synonym is a similar word. So possible can also be another word for potential, but it's not as precise. But, yep, possible also is correct. Rely. Rely looks familiar. Do you know what rely means? Yes. I can think of it as a verb. Okay, yep, well done, Quack. Think of it as a verb. To rely on... No. Sorry. You should never define a vocabulary word when that vocabulary word is in the definition, right? Yes. Like if I were to define red, you can't say red is red. No, you have to say red is the first color in the rainbow and the longest color by wavelength. So, do that, but with the word rely. Okay. I think of rely by to rely on. To rely on something means to, like, depend upon or, like to depend, not only to depend, but also to make it suitable for you, like to depend on something, like that. To depend or base on something. That's right. To rely means to depend or base on something. So, you're basically dependent on that lesson. Yep. Stress. Stress sounds very familiar. Do you know stress? Yes. Isn't stress like an uncomfortable emotion? Correct. Stress is a very uncomfortable emotion. And stress can even be unhealthy for you. Studies show that stress can actually be very unhealthy for your body because it may make your body feel worse. So, yeah, stress. Stress also means something different. And I've learned this when I was 14. But stress also means, and by the way, I am still 14. Stress also means pressure. Like, for example, I'm putting stress to the book. See? Stress can not only mean frantic feelings, but it can also mean pressure. Pressure on something. And last but not least, valid. Valid sounds familiar too. I know valid. Do you know valid? I think so. Doesn't valid mean like correct or reasonable? Correct. Yes. Valid means correct, right, or reasonable. So, yep, you're right. Ah, it looks like that we know all these words. Complex, potential, rely, stress, and valid. We know all these words. So in that case, we don't need to study for the words because we know they will appear in our stories. So, we're going to read these two stories. Dark they were and golden-eyed, and Martian Metropolis. I don't know that one. Dark They Were and Golden-Eyed is a short story by Ray Bradbury. Okay. And Martian Metropolis is a science writing by Meg Thatcher. Is it Tacker or Thatcher? Sorry, just trying to pronounce things. And I wonder, what is one thing you would be worried about if you had to leave for outer space tomorrow? Jot down or sketch your answer. Okay. We are going to skip the sketching. We're going to jot down our answer instead. I know we don't jot in here, but jotting is very similar to writing. Jotting is basically just writing. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is. That's all there is to the word jot. Jot just means to write. So, what is one thing you would be worried about if you had to leave for outer space tomorrow? Quack, what is one thing you would be worried about? Space. The temperature? What if you freeze to death? Okay, yep. How cold space is, right? How cold it is. Yep, space is very, very cold, guys. You cannot go to space without a spacesuit. That's why NASA provides spacesuits for astronauts, and that's why astronauts look very familiar. It's because of the spacesuits. They look white because the spacesuits are white. So, yep, how cold it is. Yep, temperatures, very cold temperatures can be fatal, but NASA provides spacesuits which can handle all those temperatures. So you don't need to worry about that, but some people do. All right, list me one more thing people would be worried about. Okay. How little air it has? Okay. Yep, you're right. Very little oxygen in space. There's not even oxygen in space at all. Little oxygen. So, there is very, very little amounts of oxygen in space, guys. Although it's an element, it does not appear frequently in space. So, that's why NASA provides spacesuits, so that you can breathe. The helmet usually is like a dome. Although it does not provide air, it kind of is like a caged environment. In your head, at least. You're not captive. You're in space. But your head kind of feels captive in a way. But the dome can also withstand the cold air. Wait, no. It could also withstand the airless environment. So, you're okay. There is air in space, but not oxygen. Wait, no. There isn't air, but it just looks very airy. Sorry. I'm learning a lot about space today, guys. Space is a very complicated environment. All right. So, how cold it is and very little oxygen. But people worry about that. But spacesuits are provided at NASA so that you won't choke to death and so that you will not freeze. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of vocabulary words today. Convivial, idle, forlorn, recede, pendulum, and muse. Wow, those are very difficult words. Yes, they are. Convivial, convivial? I don't know. We probably don't know this word. So, yeah. Idle? I think I have heard of idol. Is idol, I'm your idol, like, a model? Yeah, that could be correct, yeah, but it does not automatically mean model, but good job. At least we understand idle. Forlorn. I don't think we know forlorn. Recede. I understand it, but I just don't know its definition. Okay, so we've heard it before, but we don't know its definition, so we'll leave that blank. Pendulum. Pendulum. What's the pendulum? Let's see. I think I know. Is it like that thing that ticks on a clock? That bobby head thing? That's right. It's also just basically called the bob. It bobs around a cuckoo clock, the bottom of a cuckoo clock. So, let me show you exactly what the pendulum is. So pretend this is the clock, and pretend the thumb over here is the pendulum. See what I mean by that? That is the pendulum. The little yellow or golden or not even colorful bob that spins around or swings around in a cuckoo clock. Or outside, anyway. And muse. I don't think we know muse, do we? No. Okay, that's great, because these words are very difficult, I know. Dark They Were and Golden Eyed, a science fiction by Ray Bradbury. After fleeing Earth, the Bittering family must adjust to life on Mars. So, I have to eat my dinner, but, Crack, can you read the story while I eat it? Yeah. Just make sure to take notes as you go along. Ooh, yummy. Okay, go. Okay. The rocket metal cooled in the meadow winds. Is that right? Yes, it is. Keep going. Its lid gave a bulging pop. From its clock interior stepped a man, a woman, and three children. The other passengers whispered away across the Martian meadow, leaving the man alone among his family. Cool story. Alright, I'll finish later. Well done, Crack. Yes. That's true. Its lid gave a bulging pop. So the lid basically just popped. And now, we can annotate. In paragraphs 1 to 6, mark details that reveal the man's first response to Mars. So, let's see. First response to Mars. First response on a planet, actually, is either getting on it or leaving it. So, I think it's probably this. One of them. The other passengers whispered away across the Martian meadow, leaving the man alone among his family. All right. Okay. Seemed almost to whirl away in smoke. Might at any instant be sown to all the Martian climes. His face was cold. Okay. That's all of them. So, yep. How would you describe the man's first impressions on Mars? How do his feelings affect the mood of the story? We're not going to write that. We're just going to discuss. So, how would you describe the man's first impressions? Quack? I think he has never been here before, and I think he's afraid. Okay. Yeah, you're right. How do the feelings affect the mood of the story? I think the mood of the story is affected by a very sad tune. That's right, a sad tune to the story. It's not tune, but it's tone. But well done. I like the ooze. Yes, learning about vowels. Anyways, that's kindergarten stuff, sorry. But yeah, you need to know vowels. So, yep, there we go. And we usually read one more. Chin Up Harry said his wife, "It's too late. We've come over 60 million miles. The children with their yellow hair hollered at the deep dome of Martian sky. There was no answer but the racing hiss of wind through the stiff grass. They walked into town. So, what do you think the man wants to do? Does he want to leave and go back to Earth? That's right. In paragraphs 4 to 6. What's wrong? Let's get back on the rocket. Go back to Earth? Yes. Listen. And he describes why it's dangerous. All right. Mark details in paragraphs 8 to 13 that the author uses to create a feeling about the setting of the story. Let's see. Might draw his soul from him. Okay. He felt submerged. They saw the old cities. Chin Up Harry. We've come over 60 million miles. Hollered at the deep dome of Martian sky. They walked into town. He picked up the luggage in his cold hands. All right. Yep. That's very good. Now, let's go to the assessment. Man, this story's long. This story's very long. Whoa. Okay, there we go. There we go. There it is. So, let's do the assessment quickly, and then I can eat more of my dinner. Assessment practice. Answer these questions before moving on to the Analyze the Text section on the next page. Read the excerpt from the story. A river of wind submerged the house. When the window ceased rattling, Mr. Bittering swallowed and looked at the children. What does the use of the word submerged suggest in this expert? Okay, so let's see. Mr. Bittering thinks the house is too noisy? No, not D. Correct. It is not D. And noisy does not even mean submerged. The Martians are preparing to attack the house? I don't think so. It's not C. All right. A or B, we come down to two situations. The children may drown if they leave the house, or the atmosphere around the house is heavy and dangerous. I think it's A. Nuh-uh, try again, Quack. Let's read. A river of wind submerged. Oh, it's not water, it's wind. It's B. Yes, you have to be very careful. You have to reread the question. So it's not A. Although submerged does mean sink in water, that's wind. It says wind, not water. So it is B. The atmosphere around the house is heavy and dangerous. So, yep, Mr. Bittering swallowed hard and looked at the children. He's probably very scared of the violent air. This question has two parts. First answer part A, then part B. Part A, how is Harry's point of view different from the other people's? Let's see. Harry is afraid of people from Earth arriving? Probably not C. Harry is concerned about being stranded on Mars? No. B or D. Harry is able to hide his emotions about what is happening? No. I think it is D. Harry is capable of protecting his family. Mars could be a very dangerous place without a spacesuit. Part B. Select the sentence that supports the answer in Part A. Can you try to do this, Quack? Yeah. And they stood looking at the green roses? No, not A. But mostly they just idled and watched him with their yellowing eyes? I don't know. He took a sandwich, opened it, looked at it, and began to nibble at it? Probably not C. But as he worked that night, the thought of the cool blue marble villa entered his mind. Not D. I think it is B. But mostly they just idled and watched him with their yellowing eyes. They are concerned for him, right? Right. They don't know why he is so afraid. Why he wants to protect his family. And because Mars is a dangerous place. That's the reason why. Alright, let me just eat my dinner, then we'll read the last story. Quack, can you try to understand the words? Of course. Okay, good. Yummy. Radiation? Ooh! I know what that means. Toxic substances. Colonize? Yes, just don't know the definition. Heard of it before. Geothermal. I don't know. Byron, look at my words. Wow. It looks like you knew quite a bit. Radiation and colonize, but not geothermal. That's okay. Geothermal is very difficult to understand. Really. I'll read the story. Martian Metropolis. Science writing by Meg Thatcher or Thatcher. I don't know. Learn what life would be like if humans tried to live on the red planet. So, the red planet is also called Mars because Mars appears red. Some people think it's very hot because of its warm colorations, but Mars is actually very cold, just like space itself. Mars is actually a very cold planet, but it's not the coldest. It's not the coldest. The coldest planet would probably be some blue planets. I don't know. Yeah. This is about NASA. So exciting. NASA is a space program. Alright, here we go. NASA plans to send humans to Mars in the 2030s, and several private entities aim to send settlers to live on Mars permanently. Ooh, 2030s? Looks like they're building a better future. That's right, and also a risky one too. Because space can be very dangerous. There are several reasons why to create an off-planet colony. One is survival of our species, and another is a cool factor. Scientists living on Mars can study the planet up close better than rovers can. They can compare it to Earth and other planets. So, one is survival of our species. And there's also the cool factor, who would not want to live on Mars. I don't know. Is it? Mark any unfamiliar words in paragraph 2. Oh, interesting. Scientists living on Mars can study the planet up close better than rovers can. They can compare it to Earth and other planets. They can study its atmosphere and humans' effect on that atmosphere. If they find evidence for life on Mars, whether past or present, that will tell humans we're not alone in the universe. I think atmosphere is probably the unfamiliar word. What is the atmosphere? Isn't the atmosphere just the air? Right. It's vaguely just the air. Air, it is colloquially called air, but it's really the atmosphere. The atmosphere is a whole ring of air surrounding our planet Earth. And atmosphere may be unfamiliar to understand. Can you find clues in the paragraph that help you understand the atmosphere? Let's see. Oh, forgot. Rovers are also unfamiliar. Can you find clues in a paragraph that help you understand these words? So, study the planet up close better than, okay, that might go for rovers. And for atmosphere, humans' effect on that atmosphere. Kind of like this. Yes. So, those are the clues. See? So, sometimes we need to infer in life. We need to infer. Not only do we need to compare, but also infer. Yeah, comparing and inferring are very important things in life. Annotating and inferring and comparing, too. Yeah. So, that's very cool. All right, let me just eat more of my dinner. Quack, can you read the next one? Of course. Fourth rock from the sun. Ooh, very cool. Of all the planets in the solar system, Mars is the most Earth-like. It's made of rock and has a thin atmosphere. The scenery is beautiful but also strange, with craters and sand dunes, dust, and scattered rocks. It has massive landforms, the tallest mountains and deepest canyons in the solar system, all under a pink sky. It's farther from the sun than Earth, so Mars is much colder. On average, it's a bone-chilling negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 62 degrees Celsius. Wow. Did not know that. The Martian day, called a sol, is about 40 minutes longer than an Earth day. A Martian year is 668.6 sols. Its atmosphere is about 100 times thinner than Earth's, and it's 95% carbon dioxide. Wow. Very cool. All these numbers. Notice a note. In paragraph 5, mark the statistics the author provides about Mars. We see a bit of statistics here and there. Statistics are numbers or quantitative data. Quantitative data, you will learn that in 9th grade. But, it can start as early as that. So, yep. And numbers. Numbers alone can be really great for statistics. So, yep. Let's answer the question. The assessment. And done. Ooh. Assessment practice. Well done. Thank you. This question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then part B. Part A, why does the offer include the section called living off the land in the text? Will be to make everything there. Okay. Plenty of metals, probably lots of water, but no wood or petroleum, which is used to make gasoline, plastic, and many other useful products. Let's see. So it's possible to settle there. So let's see. To explain that colonists will have to make what they need, probably to convince readers that people should not farm on Mars. No. I mean, you can't farm on other planets besides Earth, but you can also farm on Mars, unless you're doing something harmful. So it's not C. To show that it will be expensive to live on Mars, not B. To prove that colonizing another planet is possible, or to explain that colonists will have to make what they need. Living off the land. I don't think it's D. I think it is A. To prove that colonizing another planet can be possible. D is similar, but I don't think it is directly similar. Let's answer this. Part B, how does the author elaborate on the ideas in this section? Okay. By including graphic elements that clarify complex ideas? Nope, not D. By classifying the needs of colonists into categories? No. By describing the causes and effects of colonization on Mars? Probably. By including statistics to explain the conditions colonists face. That's in paragraph 5, so it's not A. I think it is B. By describing the causes and effects of the colonization of Mars. How does paragraph 12 show that there will be a need for many different skills on Mars? Let's see. Wealthy tourists might visit the red planet, but you won't have to be rich or a scientist to live on Mars. It includes a list of jobs that will be available on Mars. It explains why resources on Mars are abundant. It shows that machines can do most of the work on Mars. Or it suggests that scientists and tourists will be the first on Mars. The city will need farmers to grow crops, cooks, people to run the spaceport. Some jobs can be done by machines, which use fewer resources than human workers, so add robot mechanic to that list of careers. It may fall somewhere here or there. It's not B or D, so it's either A or C. Let's see. For many different skills on Mars, it shows that it does include jobs, but I don't think it's A. Nope, not A. It's C. It shows that machines can do most of the work. Sorry, eating my dinner. Anyways, that's it for us today. We will come back and answer our essential question in our next video. Yay! Alright, bye everyone. Bye-bye.